Hello and welcome to a new episode of our podcast, Culture Cuddles,
where we're talking about experiences of people living and loving abroad. My name is Uyen.
And I'm the German husband-to-be.
And we are the hosts of this random podcast that we're sitting on the couch and talk about. Yay!
So, our today's topic of the episode is long-distance relationships.
Ooh, I have so many things to talk about it because I have been there. I've done 3 years of long distance.
Uyen wished for this topic specifically, and you guys were delivering your own comments on our homepage, culturecuddles.com. Maybe it's up here right now, where you can still deliver us your stories that you want to share with us and that you want to talk us about.
Should we start with the first?
Yeah, we start with the first one. Our first comment is from Florence Knight, 420. I'm on an intercultural relationship too. Mind if you ask how you two met? Dating app or common virtual friends?
No, none of the above.
That's fitting very good for the beginning.
Yeah, we actually met like in a rom-com movie. We met in real life, and we just bump into each other. It's like, these days it's not that happen that often anymore. Most of my friends now, they found their partner in a dating app.
Which is okay.
Yeah, which is completely fine. But for us, it's like, damn, we are like Asian people. We still meet each other on the street just like that.
It was 2016 and I just finished my master degree. I gave it to the university and then I was like, okay, see you guys before starting to work. I planned to go 1 month to Vietnam and 1 month to Indonesia. And that was my first evening actually in Vietnam. And I booked a hotel. It was a very crappy one with mold in the walls and with holes in the windows and mosquitoes coming inside. And I was pretty desperate. But at one point I went out with my camera to take some pictures. And
And I was there to practice English with my friends. So we found German boyfriend. We asked if he want to practice English with us. And then we talked to each other. And that's it. We start to vibe very well. So we become kind of friends for some day. And he went on to travel in Vietnam and Indonesia. And we just keep texting.
Actually, we met like 3 days in a row.
Yeah, but it's, as I said, very few times.
But then I needed to leave Hanoi. I went to another island and then I even came back one more time to spend my birthday with Uyen.
Oh, after that, he went back to Germany and after some months, we became a couple online kind of. And then every year he would come back to Vietnam 3 times or more to visit me. But then the rest of the year, we are doing long distance, basically calling and texting with each other. Yeah, and that is the story of how we met. And that is the background story of our long distance stuff.
It's 9,000 kilometers in total. So pretty far.
6 hours time different too.
Yeah.
Okay, should we move to the next question?
We can.
Let's go!
So, I think she's also Vietnamese because her name is Sky Nguyen. Nguyen? Okay, I'm very sorry.
Say it again, honey.
Nguyen.
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 It's very hard.
I'm sorry. And it is the most common Vietnamese name.
Yeah.
So Sky Nguyen, J41. She says, my boyfriend and I did 2 years long distance after 4 years of being together.
So it's like they being together and then they start to separate to do long distance, right? That's the hardest kind of long distance. Yeah. Like, I could do that because I first met German boyfriend and we separated immediately. But now, since I lived together with him for 2 years, I don't think I could do this anymore. If he went home and he told me, sweetie, the job has to bring me to Australia now and for some reason you have to stay in Germany to save the world and it's gonna be 4 years, I would say, okay, break up right now.
Really?
I cannot do this anymore. Like if for some serious reason that we cannot be together for 4 years and do long distance, I love you, honey, but I cannot do this anymore because like we've been living together. I know how good it is. There is no way I would willing to go through this ever again.
Okay.
Would you? You will still do long distance?
I don't know. Like in the beginning, I thought like I totally agree with you. Like I think it's harder when you were in a physical relationship at the same place, if I can call it like that. And then you need to split up. But also, like, I mean, we're together now for 8 years. And we built up a lot together. We went through some serious together and we're there for each other. And I think if for whatsoever reason we needed to separate now for a reasonable amount of time.
4 years. I'm talking about 4 to 5 years.
4 years. She's even talking about 2 years.
Oh, it's too much. No, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I don't want to do it.
It would definitely be tough for sure. Like, in Vietnam, you don't celebrate Christmas, obviously, but you have like New Year is a very big thing. Yeah. So like the family holiday. So Uyen always needs to go back one time per year to celebrate Tet.
Yeah.
Tet. Their New Year festival, like from the Lunar New Year. And that's usually like almost a month. Then she's not here, and it always drives me crazy. Also, because she's with her family and everything, she forgets about my pure existence.
In general, we celebrate 6 weeks per year properly because it's the amount of time I go home, and German boyfriend is like rolling around, crying, missing me, being lonely, which is understandable. I'm bringing joy to his life anyway. Okay, to the record, if that scenario happened, of course, I would try to make it work, but it's tough.
Look who tries to seem less heartless.
I'm just saying, it is going to be one of the toughest things we have to go through if it's happened right now at this moment. Yeah. Okay, please keep going.
What I found interesting now, looking back, is the number of people, even those who didn't really know me, felt like they should share their opinion about our long-distance relationship.
She's Vietnamese, so I guess it's normal because when we were doing long-distance, many of my family and friends was having opinion about our relationship, but none of his family and friend ever say one thing negative. Did they say anything negative at all?
I was actually like a little bit worried that they might like not so much about the long distance relationship, but more like, ooh, watch out, ooh, does she really love you? But actually, like it was not a single person who said something like that.
I guess they were just happy you were 28, honey. They just want you to have a girlfriend at this point. At this point, they were like, I don't care about the gender. I don't care if it's an alien. Like, just bring one home and I'll be happy for you. So I guess their standards were very low at that point already for you. For me, I was 21. Like, I also don't have a real boyfriend before. So many people has opinion about it. They were like, are you sure he's not cheating at the moment? Are you sure it's gonna work? Like, what is the future is going to look like and everything? Many cheating allegation. Many. Yeah. He's probably cheating right now. Luckily, German boyfriend didn't. And it was really tough.
People are always saying like, for who it was worse, for you or for Uyen? And usually they expect it was worse for me. But I actually think it was worse for Uyen because of all of that negativity around her. Yeah. I mean, of course, that was bad for me too, because I know that there are people who putting it into her mind and I cannot do anything against it.
Also, do you have like friends who are couple that you meet weekly or daily?
Couples?
Yeah, couples.
No,
couple
I don't
friends.
think so.
I have all of my friends at that time, like 90% of them were couples. And the thing is like either they live together or I live with them. In Vietnam, when like especially young couple, the girl gets spoiled a lot. When the boyfriend comes, they spoil her like crazy. She's like a princess. And I had to sit there seeing her getting spoiled, basically like getting freshly cut food, like fit into her mouth. And I was there and I was like, I also have a boyfriend, but he's not picking me up from work. He's not bringing me out for eating. He's not cutting fruits for me. He's not giving me a massage. And I'm just here seeing this every single day in my room, in my bedroom.
And then sometimes when we met each other, the expectations were a little bit, like, I would say ridiculously high. Like, we're walking on the streets and then suddenly she's in thoughts. And then she's like, oopsie, my shoelace is open.
He never
opening her own shoelace. And I'm standing there in the evening in 40 degrees Celsius. And I'm that almost 2 meter tall guy. She's down there and she's like, can you please tie my shoe?
I'm just saying, like, this is, to this day, I'm still holding grudges because German boyfriend don't tie shoelaces for me. And the thing is,
I did sometimes
in Asian
culture,
especially because we watch a lot of Korean drama, tying shoelaces for your partner is seen as something romantic. I think in Western culture, it's seen as something like incompetent, like you are also a grown-up woman, why can you tie your shoelaces? Of course I can tie my shoelaces, but it's something romantic about my partner noticing like, oh sweetie, your shoelaces is tied. Do not bend down. Let me do that for you. Then he bent down in one knee, he tied the shoelaces for me, he looked up at me, and he gave me a smile.
Actually,
you never do that unless I'm like pressuring you.
Actually, when you're telling it to me like that, then I would actually say like, okay, if I notice that your shoelaces are open, I might do it, but not a grown-ass lady next to me opening her shoelaces by herself saying, oopsie, my shoelaces are open. Can you please go down and tie them for me? And wait, can I please?
I'm gonna eat you alive. Shut up. No, you shut up.
What I find...
I just want to say in front of everybody
that I have an avocado allergy.
I just want to say for everybody here that I don't remember me doing that. I don't remember me untying my shoelaces for having his attention. So, and also, if I ever did that, which I didn't, you guys have to understand that I haven't seen him for months and I have no attention. So sometimes I got a little bit desperate. But anyway, I don't remember that. I don't remember I'm doing it and I don't think I'm doing it. Whatever he say next, it's just like, I don't know, imagination. Keep talking, honey.
I really remember it as if it was yesterday because like it was in Hoi An. I don't know if you guys have been to Hoi An. It's super beautiful. It has an old quarter and there's everything lit up by lanterns. It's super romantic and things. And I think that was the reason. She was looking around. She was like, oh, this is so romantic. Wait.
Lies. Honey, are you sure you were with me?
And then later,
you sure you were with me? And
how many people have I been to?
I don't know. You tell me. How can I know?
And then the best thing was like in the evening, she wanted to explain it to me. So she showed me one of those Korean drama scenes where it's happening. And she was like, now everything makes sense, right? And I was like, it's like in those cartoon movies when you hear people blink. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Now she has shoes that you don't need to tie.
Actually, that's not true. My shoelaces is getting loose all the time, but I have to do it all by my lone self.
Oh,
because he just doesn't want to help me.
Now, when I think about it, like there were actually people who were talking about the long distance thing with me and were not so positive, but those were also people that were not really close to me. And it's ridiculous when you think about it. Like, I don't know, when you're not even close with someone, why sharing opinion about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't share opinion about if someone is doing long distance. I wouldn't be like negative about it, but I would like silently pray for them. Because like it's freaking hard.
Yeah.
And I think I said that this one in the video. I'm just saying like we were lucky because I was super young and I didn't even have like a career. I was still studying and I still didn't know what to do with my life. So like our relationship was like my priority and I do everything to make it work. And that is like it's like such a big part of who I am at that time, like being your girlfriend, because there's not much going on with my life anymore. But like, imagine if I have a new partner and then immediately we have to do long distance for years. And I also have like a career, I have family, I kind of figure out who I am and what I want to do in my life. Do I want to sacrifice so much to do long distance with my partner for like years? It's hard. I completely understand that. So we were super lucky that we met when I was so young. German boyfriend is always hopelessly in love, so I don't think it's gonna make him questioning things much. But I guess like if you have a lot of things going on in your life, doing long distance could be very, very challenging.
I mean, that is one of the points. I mean, there are people who are asking about tips here.
Yeah.
But like, when you're doing long distance, it's freaking hard for everyone. So it always needs to be your priority.
Yeah.
And that sounds a little bit hard. I mean, I would say like every relationship actually should be kind of your priority. And yeah, so, but for long distance, that is even more.
But do you think like the relationship has to be your number one priority in your life? Even if you're like 30, 35, or is it okay to be like the same priority with career, with being who you are, with family, with friends and stuff?
I think like within your relationship, there needs to be clear what other stuff is important to you, so that your partner knows that, and because he loves you, yeah, he gives you room for doing that.
I think it depends on the partner. Like if you find a good partner, make him the priority. But I just feel there's sometimes you're unlucky, you find like a shitty partner, and then you make them the priority, and then you lose everything for him. And then, so yeah, choose a good partner, and then you can make him priority.
I think that is also important, that you need to think about if you want that partner you're with right now be your number one priority. Because when your answer is no, then maybe you already have your answer if you should stay together.
Okay, next question. Next thing.
Like actually, the thing we were talking about is fitting with another comment. Sarah Marchesi, 2247, shared some stuff about her relationship. She says, I've also had a long distance relationship with someone from a different nationality, me Italian, him Indian. Long distance relationship require real commitment and constant connection through phone and so on. And this is one of the reasons now we are not together anymore. Even if we love each other, it was difficult to settle down and persecute each one's life and goals. We were both lacking stability by constantly moving here or there.
Yeah. I think the reason why long distance relationship is very hard is that at the end, what is the end goal? Like you guys have to end up being together somewhere and then like building a life together somehow in the same place. Otherwise, are you going to do long distance for the rest of your life or something, right? So normally if you meet each other in the same city, you basically live there already. If you're based in different country and you still want to become a couple, the end goal has to be like at the end being together, right? But your life is so different. Who is going to like give up their life and then kind of compromise their life and go and dream to be with the other person? Or both of you guys have to compromise and work together and change your whole life trajectory. How do I say that word, honey?
Tremendously?
No, trajectory is like
strategy?
No, it's like okay, anyway, and change your whole life goal kind of so that you can be together. It's super hard. So that is why, and especially when you spend years and years for that person, and at the end, if you don't find a solution, it's just stressful. For me and German boyfriend, it was luckily work out because I didn't have much going on for me in Vietnam at that point because as I said, I was young and I didn't have like a career at that time. So it was easy for me to give up and then move in with him because clearly being a Vietnamese living in Vietnam, moving to a developed country is clearly an advantage for me. So I have not much to lose, although still I have to leave all of my friends and family behind. And family was super important to me.
Yeah.
How German boyfriend know like family is everything for me. So I have to leave all of them behind and move here and start everything from the beginning with German boyfriend. But at least I don't have career to be worried about. So I already have like, okay, you move to Germany, you study master degree, you find a job there, you make more money. And everybody would want that. But like imagine two people with kind of like stable life in two different countries, career, and then have to like giving it all up to move somewhere for one person at one point. It's hard. It's super hard.
It's hard. And what you also cannot forget is that it creates a lot of pressure on the person who's the person who's not giving up so much. I also remember that Uyen was the first one who brought up the topic of like, what is this and where is it going to?
Really?
I think already like after the second trip or something. In a time when I was still like crazily in love and just thought like, okay, let's enjoy what we have here. It's so nice. And yeah.
Wait. So you met me for the second time and you just want to enjoy the moment without thinking about how to spend the rest of your life with this wonderful woman?
No, it was more like a dreamful denial of the future, because I thought like, yeah, this will work out somehow, because this is the kind of person I am. Okay, because
German boyfriend is a very, let's say, positive person, and also he's not that comfortable dealing with like, you know, adversity. He will do it, but he would try to procrastinate it as long as possible.
And usually that's a good strategy and works out somehow.
But it's not the person. But I am the opposite. Like if I see a problem, I'll try to solve it, no matter how uncomfortable it is.
Even though the problem is not actually a problem yet.
But I would find the problem to solve it immediately.
In Germany, we have the term verschlimmbessern, to make something worse by trying to improve it. I think that fits very often in that.
Honey, you should be grateful that I am that kind of person. You don't want to have two procrastination person in the same household.
Of course. So one day, Uyen sat me down and was like, okay, because like, of course, before we were talking already about possible things that we could do. We were also discussing if maybe I should come to Vietnam. But there we came fast to the conclusion that maybe the other way of getting Uyen to Germany is better.
Yeah, I just think that German boyfriend is not born for Vietnamese lifestyle. He's too chill. He loves nature too much. He's too calm, and he's not like hustling enough. And he's very sensitive with noise too. And Vietnam is kind of noisy. I just don't think it's gonna be the best place for German boyfriend to live. And plus, if he lives in Vietnam, he would make more money than normal people, and he could pay for an apartment and we can live in a nice apartment. But for me, I wouldn't do anything advanced with my career if he go there. I would just kind of find a normal job, and then basically that's it. I wouldn't have a chance to see the world. So no brainer. I'm going to Germany.
I think we made a very good decision there. But then one trip in 2019, Uyen sat me down like, hey, you say all the time that this is working. Like, we have kind of a plan. I'm going to Germany for studying. So let's work on this. Let's make it happen now. And so we sat down and started to make research. We were like in a game bar in Vietnam. Everyone around us was playing
internet
like
cafe.
Yeah. We're playing like ego shooters and stuff, and we were sitting in the middle of them, slurping our smoothie and doing research about German universities close to Mannheim that don't take tremendous fees, because we also have some where you need to pay as an abroad student, or like which accepts Uyen's degree, and what is working with what she studied before. She studied marketing in Vietnam.
I just want to say that like German boyfriend should give me credit on how resilient I am to be here. I said I want to be here, and then I start doing research, and I arrive here 6 months later, I think.
Yeah.
Is that?
I think so.
During those time, I was studying English, making tests in English for very high score to get here, which is very hard. Then I have to relearn all of my subject in university.
Because she needed to make a test from the German government that she actually deserved that degree that she got.
So I can like do another test to say that, hey, I actually study in the university. I have to relearn all of that to do the test.
Like repeat.
Yeah. Then I have to apply for the visa. I have to like apply for the school, complete all of the thingy. Then I get it. And then I arrange things in Vietnam. And I didn't really complain with you. I was just like silently doing it in the background, like a very resilient person.
In a Uyen way, like very decent, saying all the time, do you know what I do all the time?
I'm just saying that me 8 years ago would not imagine that I could do that. So I'm very proud of myself to make it happen and then manage to get to Germany. But,
and I'm very proud of you too. And I'm pretty sure everyone out there is proud of you too.
Thank you very much.
Without your effort there, no one could see you today.
Yay.
And there would be definitely less laughter in the world.
Oh.
Sarah went on by saying, but for me, those years of distance has made our connection stronger as no others. Really loving someone without idealizing him or her and working out all of the problems requires real will. It's easy to give up and find an easier situation to be. Difficult part is that you actually have two different lives, two different routines, living in different environment, like your ways, your story. You two as a couple, keep it up.
Tani, do you think that the years of us spending as a long-distance couple make us stronger, or the years of us living together make us stronger as a couple?
I actually think that the long-distance years made us pretty strong.
Okay.
Like, because, I don't know, like we were spending very nice time together in the time of the holidays. And yeah, then being separated and missing each other and still wanting to see the other one still and don't want to have anyone else made it very, very deep. A very, very deep connection. I completely agree with what she's saying there. So there's an anonymous comment saying, earlier this year, I met a wonderful man while in my uni year abroad. And we just decided to try long distance. As our paths will split in 2 weeks, what is your advice for some freshly entering long distance? It's across 10,000 kilometers and 8.5 hours of time zone difference. I'm thankful for every experience and tip you're willing to share. Sending hugs and greetings from Hong Kong.
Wow.
Sending hugs and greetings back to Hong Kong.
Wow, good luck to you. 8 hours of time difference is tough, I think.
That is really tough.
Because when you go home from work, he's probably sleeping already. Or the opposite. Oh, it's a bit hard. Yeah. What is the information we have from them? They are students?
They were students. They're asking about advice. My number one advice would be, you're not at the same place. You don't really share an everyday life with each other. So I always found it most important to still share your everyday life with your partner by sending tons of pictures, tons of updates, like telling him what you're doing, what you're making, and like what is important to you right now, so that the other one feels included, because like that is what you want to be with a partner, right? I mean, you don't want to hear 3 days later what he did 3 days before. Yeah. If it was something important, you should always, for me, it was always, I directly shared everything with Uyen.
Yeah.
Like, so, and then I also wanted to earn reaction, of course, because like for the other person, of course, it counts the same.
Yeah.
Like when someone shares something with you, they want to have a reaction to it. So do it and share your reaction to it.
I have 2 advice. The first one is, I forgot already. Oh, what is the first advice?
I don't know. Maybe it comes back to you.
I forgot the first advice already. But the second advice is that you should make a goal together very early on and work on it. So if you want to do long distance and you feel like that is the right person, you have to make a goal somehow that you will end up together in this amount of year or time. And then you should work on it, because if you're just being together without not knowing if it's gonna work out geologically, like, you know, logically, logistically or not. It just feel like, how does that call in Vietnam? Beating someone in the dark or something.
What?
You know, just doing things without knowing the end goal. It's just making you question if you're spending time with the right person or if you're spending the time of your life wisely. And that was the second one. Like, I don't remember the first one.
Can I add something there?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very important to have like perspectives. For us, for example,
I remember the first one. Can I say it? I'm so sorry.
What?
but now I remember.
But why don't we first finish the second one?
Okay. But I have to keep that ideas in my head.
You need to remember one thought.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm doing it. Keep you talking. I'm keeping the thought in my head now.
Yeah, I really agree with what Uyen said about perspective. Just when we decided that we're in a long distance relationship now, like for me, it was the most important thing to directly do something and book a flight back to Vietnam. So I directly checked, like, where can I? And then I told her, like, hey, could we meet at that time? And she was also super happy that we could directly meet there again. And then it was clear for us already, like, okay, we need to do long distance now for 2 months, I guess. And then we will see each other again and we will see how it is. And for us, things were more clear.
That was actually my second advice. I mean, this is not something you could control, but try to see each other as many times as possible. Try to save the money, buy the flight ticket, and if you don't have enough money to traveling there, just live there. Like sometimes when I still have to work and I don't have enough day off, German boyfriend will just fly there and then just live with me for some weeks, and he doesn't even travel anywhere. He just stay there with me. I think it's very important because you meet each other physically, you spend real time with each other. So you would learn and figure out if you're going to work out in general anyway, because talking via the phones or texting, it's just not that real. So yeah, I mean, and obviously I know that it's not for everybody. Not everybody has enough money to afford the flight ticket and everything. But that's the sad reality. If you want the long distance to work, you kind of need to manage to have to see each other. Anyway, there has to be compromise and sacrifice. And although I was living very poorly at that time, to invest in the relationship, I think the same for German boyfriend. I don't regret it at all. Yeah. It was a good decision anyway.
Yeah, good luck to you guys.
Yeah, good luck. Hope you guys work out.
I think those are actually some good tips. So, Sunshine Kami 2024 said, my husband and I met in college, but then I moved to a different state, and so we were in long distance for like 3 to 4 years prior to getting married. It was definitely tough to be long term, but it made our relationship stronger. I was also recently away for 7 weeks, and I think anytime we are away, we remember why we enjoy being together so much, and we appreciate it even more.
I think a clear benefit of long distance is that once you're together, you do appreciate it a lot. Like if you've just been together since the beginning and you never separate, I think it's hard to understand. Because when we were doing long distance, we would have 4-5 months break in between sometimes. And it was really tough. But then the moment when I see German boyfriend in the airport, and then when we hug each other and when we start crying, it is the best feelings ever. And then we're together, and then we like literally appreciate every moment. We try to make the most out of like every single minutes we were together.
Everything feels special.
Yeah.
Doing together.
And still, even up until now, we still appreciate that we are together because we know how tough it is when we separate with each other.
Uyen always says that she doesn't want to go back to that time, but actually I sometimes miss a little bit that phase of looking forward to see each other. For me, it was always like that whole ritual of knowing that, okay, I will go there now, and then I pack my stuff and I bring Uyen some gifts. I think about what she wants.
Honey, if you want that to happen again, I can just go back to see my parents for 3 months, and then you're
Sweetie,
going
I'm
to...
in the middle of telling something. I don't know. Uyen always says that she definitely doesn't want to go back to the long distance time at all. But to be honest, sometimes I miss a little bit like that phase of the whole looking forward to meet each other again, because it was like so magical. Then finally going to the airport, and then the whole airport thing of being there, texting her like, hey, I just got through security. I just checked in my luggage. Ooh, I'm going to board soon. And then like being on the airplane, watching some movies, and then coming out of the airplane and cannot wait until finally meeting each other. And then what always was the worst part was like everything is basically done, but then you're standing on the luggage belt waiting for your freaking luggage, and sometimes there's a glass door through which I can see her already, but I cannot go to her yet. And I don't know, when finally going out and finally hugging each other, it's just like the best thing in the world.
But honey, may I remind you that we were in the beginning of our relationship and we barely see each other. Of course, it feels good. I mean, also because of the distance, but it's also because we're at the beginning of the relationship. I would never, ever go back to the long distance things ever again. Yeah, do I miss that feeling? Yeah, of course. But it's not happy enough for me to go back to that hellhole.
Yeah.
So no.
And I mean, of course, it always comes with a bill. I mean, while that day is like the best day in the world, the day of leaving each other is like, oh.
I cry so much. I would start crying a week before he left. So that when he actually leave, I'm not gonna cry for the whole day, right?
And that is not exaggerated at all.
I pre-crying sometime
on the day I arrive.
Sometime the day he arrived, I would be happy, and then in the evening I would start crying because I know like, oh, you're going to leave in like 14 days already. So I pre-cry a little bit every day, so that in the last day I wouldn't just pass out. It's horrible. Like the day when he left, I just feel so sad. I just feel like, because we had such a good time together, the day he left, it's like always broke my heart. And then I go back to my normal life, non-travel life, my life when I get up and go to work and just see friends being couple and see other boyfriend carrying their girlfriend in the back, they piggybacking them. I don't know. It's tough.
I don't know, like, yeah, the crying and everything. And then it was always like Uyen cries like crazy and I cannot cry because I need to be strong.
Aww.
And then as soon as I'm through the security gate and I cannot see her anymore, then I start crying.
Aww.
And then all of the Vietnamese security people look at me like, what the heck is wrong here?
Okay, move on, please. Next question, please.
So, last comment is from Helen EK7. I was in a long-distance relationship for 2 years as well. We lived on different continents, so we only met in person 3 times during that time. That's rough.
Yeah.
2 years and just meeting 3 times.
You know, the only thing that is not rough is that they meet 3 times and every time they meet 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
then it's not that rough. But
then it's not rough
anything
at all.
less than that, I'm sorry.
But we talked a lot over the internet. We would definitely talk for 2 or 3 hours almost every day. When you do that for 2 years, so really, really get to know each other very well. More so than if you spend a lot of time going to the movies or going to concerts or other entertainments. We have now been happily married for 20 years. Congratulations!
Yay! And that's the end?
That's the end.
That's a very, very nice story for the ending. So before we move in together, you thought that you kind of know me very well because we talk to each other every day, right?
Yeah.
So when I moved in with you, did you kind of learn more about me and you realize like, oh, okay, she's not like I thought. I thought I talked enough with her, but like only after I live with her, I learn about her more and things like that.
No, not at all.
Really?
Like I definitely knew you super, super well at that time already by all the time that we talked with each other and that we already lived with each other. I mean, of course, there was stuff that I didn't know before.
Like what?
Like that you will throw a lot of rubbish into the sink, for example. Like stuff like that, like everyday life that you just find out when you're actually living with each other. Like how it will be to actually live with you. But like the person of you, I knew very, very well already. And I definitely agree with that lady who sent the comment here. Like when you really talk with each other, deep talk, like every freaking day, then you get to know each other very well. Uyen was at that time living with 2 roommates, actually. And I remember that one of them said once, like, how do you never get out of topics to talk with each other when you call each other every day for hours? I don't know. It just didn't happen.
I hope after you're listening to this, you don't, what you take out from me is not like long distance sucks, do not do it. What I want to say is that long distance realistically is very hard. It's not like roses or unicorn. So I hope you guys have a realistic view out of it. But if you write the right person that is worth fighting for, it is completely worth it. So good luck to you guys who is listening and who is doing long distance. I really hope that you guys will make it and then end up being together and live happily forever after.
Yeah, good luck from both of us, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
I also think so. Like you need to be aware that it's hard, but also that it's worth fighting for. And yeah, like as we saw in the last comment, and then suddenly you're 20 years married and you know that everything was worth fighting for. Just like, I sometimes think that too when I look at you and I'm like, oh, was everything worth the hustle?
Exactly. Who doesn't want this cutie?
Yeah, I'm very cute. So the topic for one of our next podcasts will be cultural misunderstanding.
Ooh.
When did a language barrier or cultural difference lead to a funny or awkward situation? So what were the funny situations you've ever been to because of a cultural misunderstanding?
Ooh.
I would really like to read a lot of stories from you there. And yeah, I think we also have some to share about things.
So just go to the website, culturalcuddles.com and submit your answer there. And we will read as many as possible. I think this is the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. And we hope you a very, very nice day. Say bye-bye, honey.
Bye-bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you next time.
Culture Cuddles is produced by Yilmaz Hummel for Uyen Ninh and her German husband-to-be. This episode was produced by Niklas Stündel and Frerk Sitter. To submit your own story for the podcast, go to culturecuddles.com.